Maddgoth. Alrighty, folks, we are live. Howdy, everybody out there. Welcome back to Variant Roles. We're running through Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and we're almost through. Thanks for keeping up with us. If you haven't seen some of it, come check it out on our YouTube channel on YouTube. It's called Variant Roles. It's real simple. I'm No Tweet Sean. I'll be DMing this evening for Level 7 Maddgoth's Castle. These are my players. Please introduce yourselves, folks. Let's start with Chael.
Hey, my name's Chael. You can find me on Twitter at Chael _ not a mimic, because I'm totally not. I'm going to be playing Divrin, the Drow Rogue. He is Toriel's sweetheart, and I'm sure everybody's going to love him because he's very charismatic.
All right, Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess Pack. I'll be playing Euphoria, a tiefling lore bard. She's a walking, talking dictionary.
Samuel, go ahead.
So I'm Sam or Samuel. I can be found on Twitter as Eldritch Warlock, and today I will be playing. I forgot the character name because I'm nervous. Ishro, the Tortle Cleric of the Grave, who's getting a bit on in his age, being older than the average years a Tortle lives.
All right,
That's
Jake.
well.
I'm Jake Friday. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Friday, and I'm going to be playing Saving Noise, the Bugbear Monster Slayer Ranger. Is that the subclass name? Anyways, I slay monsters. That's it.
All right. Okay. All right, let's set the scene. So, you guys have been traveling around in this wondrous and random place known as Undermountain. You've found each other in the darkness, and you're traversing through a tunnel that seems like it was quickly made, and the soil is loose under your feet.
Well, I don't know if this is gonna be something we should, stick around for in this loose soil and all that. So, might we get a move on?
Of course, my apologies if I'm slowing the group down. Old age does not do well for old bones, I'm afraid.
Euphoria, do you have. I heard about some magic that will give you the ability to run fast. Do you have something like that for our cleric friend here?
I'm afraid I haven't learned that one yet.
Oh, don't worry too much about it. I can push myself a bit harder until we rest tonight. No need to be concerned. It is what am I to do but sacrifice for the best of the group after all, which is my purpose.
I love him already.
I suppose if we have oil and a rope, we could just drag him along.
I don't quite think we're there yet, Divrin, but
I will say, though, that can be an entertaining occurrence. It happened a few decades back, if I'm recalling correctly, with an old friend of mine. A monk of some sort. Didn't really like that I went so slow compared to him. He dragged me for about half a mile, I think, before I got fed up with it. That was a while ago, though. Oh, I apologize for them. Meandering. You're right, we should move on.
No gurgle noise. We're not going to play bowling ball with intro. Not
Are you s-
happening.
would
Are
you
you still wearing the ring?
would you tell my dearest younger brother that this is not a safe place, as we have reminded him many times, to please not distract you when we are in mortal danger?
He says your tone's not a safe place.
Gurgle noise, I swear, once you get out of that ring, I'm gonna wring your neck.
If I may, for just a moment, and I apologize if I have actually asked this before, my memory's not the best anymore, but have I inquired as to this gurgle noise's body previously? Is it still intact? I don't know if I've offered this, and as I say, my memory's not up to what it was, but I believe if I had sufficient resources, I could aid in extracting him from the ring, but it would require a body.
He's fine in the ring.
Now, Divrin, as much as I agree,
He agrees.
Gurgle Noise had somewhat of a aptitude for the longbow, and we could use such a talent right now.
We'll be fine.
Well, if it does become a necessity, as I say, if there's a body for me to work with, I can very well return the soul to its natural form.
Well, considering that his body got buried some time ago, we can't really do that. So I think we'll be best looking for other options, which is what we'll be able to do once we come out of here with money.
Fair enough. Unless it's within a 10-day period, or I have been able to get to the body before a 10-day period, there is not much I can do. Oh well, such is life.
Can we put him in something else?
He's fine in the ring for right now.
As you wish.
It's like Divrin. It's like there's something sadistic about what Divrin wants. He's already in a ring. What more do you want?
I don't know. I'm scared to ask him.
That's great. All right, you guys are approaching the end of this tunnel. Who can see in the dark?
I can.
For what it's worth, if the party didn't disagree, Ishra would have lit the tip of his cane with light. But if the cantrip, but if that wouldn't be appreciated, he's stumbling around in the dark.
Ishro, why don't you grab onto my cape when we seek to be more stealthy? Let's keep that light out and just hold on to my cape. I'll stay back with you, and I like to stay far away from the fight as possible.
As you say, I assume now is the time to be stealthy.
Should we put Ishro in the middle?
Sure. Yeah.
Divrin, do you want to bring up rear?
I suppose.
I mean, he is a rear, isn't he?
You said it, not me.
To a real sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in that formation, we've got Euphoria at the front. Next being Saving Noise, I'd imagine.
Yes.
And then
I'll take third.
Ishro and Different. Okay. All right. As you guys are going through here, those of you who can see, you do notice that the sides of this tunnel have lots of like claw marks along the side, almost as if it was dug by something with big claws. You reach an opening point. When you do, there is a large. I don't know, what is that? Let's take a perception check. See what's that thing in front of you.
Can I still do that at disadvantage?
Yes, let's do
perception.
Yikes.
All of us?
11.
25.
19 at disadvantage.
A 19 at disadvantage?
I've got +8.
Nice.
I'm old, not blind.
There you go. Yeah.
Or deaf, or yeah.
Oh yeah, passive is 23. So I hear everything.
Okay, that changes the game
Damn.
just a little bit.
Observant feat for the win.
I
Nice.
love that feat. I have it on 2 of my characters. It's amazing.
All right. Chael, what was your perception?
11.
11. Okay.
Twinsies.
So, uh,
Yeah.
um, so Divrin and Euphoria, what you see is there's just this large hulking creature in front of you. It's not moving. For Saving Noise and Ishro, what you notice is there's a slightly see-through, definitely Umber Hulk in front of you, or I guess you would notice that Saving Noise. Ishro, what you hear is like the sounds of like flapping. It almost sounds like plastic. It's like
Hold,
a rustling of paper, I guess is what he would.
hold, hold on. And then would I think it's an illusion, possibly?
Um,
You said see-through, right?
yeah, it's see through. Yeah,
And it looks like an Umber Hulk, though.
yeah, it definitely looks like an Umber Hulk. And it's just standing there. It's not moving.
Is it facing us?
Mm-hmm.
I tell the rest of the group there's a see-through monster up ahead, not moving. I'm not quite sure if it's real or not, but what do you think we should do?
It looks real to me.
Can I pinpoint exactly where this noise is coming from?
Directly in front of you.
The inference, okay.
Pretty close too. Maybe 15 feet.
So, 15 feet, jeez.
Yikes.
Well, I think it might have seen us if it's that close. If it's real. So why don't we approach? What do y'all think?
Well, if you do wish to approach, don't worry, I'll make sure you stay on your feet. Although, to be fair, the last time I said those exact words didn't exactly go well. Poor Tyrion. Oops, sorry, my bad. Drifted away from it. Sorry about that. Old memories, old friends, you know how it goes.
Divrin, what do you think?
Perhaps I could sneak up to it and see if it's real or an illusion.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Y'all have fun.
All right, y'all roll stealth.
You two are just such lovely companions. Allow us to take care of this, thank you. Where's my stealth?
17.
And I got a 15.
All right, perfect. Excuse me. As you guys approach this thing, you kind of hear a little breeze kind of go through this this cavern, and it just kind of like shimmies, and you hear that same noise. Um, do you guys want to interact with it? It doesn't move. It just kind of like shimmies a little bit, like as you get closer.
Poke it and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
You shoot an arrow at it. You're gonna poke it. All right.
He's just gonna poke it with his finger.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke it with an arrow.
You poke it with an arrow. You're like, I'll poke it from over here. I'm good.
Poke it from a distance.
All right. So as both of you like try to pierce this thing, it doesn't move out of your way, and both of your weapons go straight through it, and you hear this chick like as it goes through, and pieces of it start kind of flaking off, and you realize it's a molting.
Yikes.
Molting?
Yeah.
Molting?
Oh no.
This is disgusting.
So it looks real?
It's hollow, like it's like a skin that's been left behind.
It's snake
It's
skin.
skin. It is
Or
dead
like a
skin.
cicada.
Hmm.
I
Oh.
would point out that what you are all reacting to, I can't see. Would so kindly to describe what you are, what is causing these exclamations.
Dead skin.
Not really informative, yet informative at the same time. Okay, proceed.
What's everybody's passive perception?
23.
16.
19.
Hang on. I have to find it on D&D Beyond. Where is it located on the sheet?
Left top.
So unless you have
It'll
the
be in that
ability,
passive,
second little.
you just come across your
13.
mod. 13. Okay. Um, Divrin and Ishro, you hear like what sound like it sounds like steps kind of, but they're very heavy, um, and they're coming from the right along the wall. And you're like,
Yikes.
What sort of steps do they sound like? Do they sound like Umber Hulk steps? Humanoid steps? Boots?
there's
This is a-
many
bare
of them.
feet?
There's many of them. It sounds like more than one person if it were a person. It definitely sounds like it's on the wall, and it's kind of distant.
That was my
So it-
favorite attempt at getting the exact name of the monster running up.
Is it like an Umber Hulk feet?
like
That
Umber
like
Hulk.
3 Umber
Feet
Hulks?
master?
So it's either an army, Spider-Man, or some sort of monster that can crawl on the wall. We're doomed.
Let's hide.
Skeletons.
I will point out these old bones don't exactly make me agile or stealthy.
You gotta, you gotta stop referencing how old you are. Ishro, we know it already. Just do your best.
Unfortunately.
Don't worry, it's just a habit to remind myself more than anything. Don't worry. I have to ensure that I am aware of the shadow of death behind me.
Trust me.
All right.
He's walking beside you.
Different.
I
Did you
know
tell
I
us?
wait the old friend.
Damn, that's dark.
Different. You told us, right?
That he hears feet, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good question.
Saving
Yeah.
noise hides.
Okay, there's a lot of rubble around you in this room. The room goes forward farther than you can see, except for Divrin, who has Dark Vision 120, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A question. I
yeah.
have Natural Explorer
Mhm.
for the Ranger. Does that apply to? I have favored terrain, Natural Explorer, whatever, for Underdark and mountains.
Mhm.
Does any of that apply?
Oh yeah.
So I get to double my proficiency with int and whiz checks then?
If that's what it says, then yes, because this
Okay.
is the appropriate terrain for that.
Okay. Excellent.
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 If I hear saving noise go and try and hide himself, I'm just gonna side myself, head over behind a boulder, and just tuck down and then crawl into my shell.
You've got natural, yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Natural
I'm
protection.
now considered prone, but I now have an AC of 24, so
Nice.
You're a rock.
turtles. I love
Yeah.
turtles. Okay, so this room, it's covered with debris. There's more of those shells, but they're kind of like just pieces of them here and there. They're pretty big. You might be able to hide around one, but
No
otherwise,
boulders, though?
your best thing's gonna be stones. Yeah. So there's some like medium-sized stones. None of them are like enormous, but there's some good-sized ones that you could probably fit one person behind. When you hide, what do you do exactly? Do you like stand? Do you sit?
No, I crouch.
Crouch.
I'm slightly shorter than my younger brother, or more than slightly, like 6 inches shorter. So I got that going for me. Yeah, I'll just crouch and ready an arrow.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything?
Divrin's gonna hide.
Divrin, you can see on the other side of the room that there is like another tunnel that's like bigger than the one you just came in through. It looks like it would lead to like a larger area.
Well, I suppose we can either hide behind rocks like rats in here, or we can take the tunnel, the larger tunnel.
Larger tunnel, then?
I'm down from running away from the noise.
Yeah, Ishro, we changed our minds. Sorry about this. I hope you haven't made tea or coffee or whatever it is you do in there. But can you put that on hold for a hot minute, and we're gonna continue on down.
By Osiris's grace, you youngsters never making up your mind. Just gonna crawl out of my shell, stand back up.
Okay.
No,
Someone
girls,
just
we're not
pick him
having
up.
tea.
As you guys are
Still
kind of
do your
talking
thing.
for a second, that boom 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 boom, all of you can now hear it. They're like
Run.
it's getting louder and closer to you.
Run.
Leg it.
Dashing.
Someone pick up the turtle and let's go.
Probably not wise. I weigh a lot.
Yeah.
Move!
Sam, how fast can Ishro move?
30 feet.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
So
that's
he's
not
got
so bad.
normal speed.
When he needs to run, he runs.
Okay.
He just doesn't like to
Run,
move all the
dude,
time.
run!
All right. So you all are running.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're running through this room. It's just like filled with debris. I want all of you to make a dex save for me.
Can I? I'll do the deck save first.
That's bad.
28.
26.
That's what happens when you have a +9.
18.
I've got,
Nice.
I've got a
18.
7.
You got a 7.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
this
not
is
dex.
this is good. This is good. Oh, I like this.
I have a negative dex.
Ah, nice. Okay, so all right, you guys are going through all this debris. There's rocks and stuff. You're having to kind of like climb over, get around. You're having to go through all these moltings, and you the whole time you hear this just coming up behind you. Oh,
I
what'd you
have
wanna
a
say?
feature that unstable terrain. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting what it's actually called. Difficult terrain doesn't affect my group. So does that make a difference?
Yes, that would make a big difference. All right, so saving noise is kind of guiding you as you're about to trip over something. Isha, you're you know, turtle shell in tow, and as you are about to trip over something, he's like, "Hey, watch out for that rock!" You know, and you just kind of like,
Not there. There.
I will point out, I am blind in here.
That's fair. It's fair.
That's a fair point.
all right. So we'll say that that saving noise is directly guiding you.
And I will can I dump some caltrops right before that terrain?
Sure.
Okay. I will do that.
You start like running away from them, and you hear after you've dropped those caltrops, maybe you get 10 feet farther away. You hear them all go. They all like are vibrating.
It makes that noise?
It's like ting 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 ting. Like those little metal caltrops are just like vibrating on the ground.
Oh, I see. I was like, it's making noises.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was something big, but it's something cute apparently.
Whatever's chasing you goes.
Army of halflings.
Cute halflings
Music
wanting to have a
box.
party.
All right. So you guys are able to safely, with the help of saving noise, make it to the other end of the room. Do you guys keep going through this dark tunnel? This tunnel is very solid. It has definitely been man-made, like it's been carved.
Yeah, I mean, keep going. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Divrin, you should probably be ahead since your eyesight is further. goes further.
I suppose. However, if I get hurt, I'm fully blaming you.
I will accept that blame, and I will kindly pass that complaint along to the Spider Queen.
Thank you. I'm a knight of Dumathoin. I'm not afraid of her.
Ooh. Look at you with your newfound confidence there, Divrin.
I feel like I should point out I am not exactly effective in healing when I can't actually see you, so do be careful.
Ishro, just turn on the lights when you hear people screaming.
Fair enough,
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
Let's see. With y'all's passives, all of you except for Euphoria are able to notice this. When you go into this tunnel, on the floor, and Ishra, you'll notice this too because you'll walk across it. On the floor, there is a large X that's like carved into it.
No. No.
Also, regarding Sean, my ranger abilities, our group can do activities. We can't be. Wait a minute. You remain alert to danger even when you're engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace. Oh, while alone. Never mind.
Yep, I was like,
Uh,
yeah, that's when you doze off.
and yeah, I think that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Cool. Good. We need to get those summed up so we can make sure that I remember them. And feel free to remind me if I forget.
Sure.
All right, you guys head in this room. One of the first things you notice is that the floor looks really weird. In this room, it's almost like a bowl. So it's a circular room, and the first 10 feet out from the edge of the room looks normal. It looks like stone. But the middle of the room, the entire rest of the floor, looks strange, almost like liquid, but not.
Can I use an action to cast Primeval Awareness, which will. I'll get a sense if there's any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within 1 mile or within 6 miles if you're in your favored terrain.
It's an action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I use a spell slot. Yes?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah. I do that. And do I sense any of those?
How far does it sense out?
6 miles.
I think you pick one of the list,
It's like
As an action,
I
to
believe.
sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons,
there
elementals.
are all of those things
Shit.
within 6 miles of you because you're
In
an under mountain.
Maybe turn
You know
that off.
You know what's terrible about this is that it's 1 mile if you're not in your favored terrain, which would be more helpful.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and give you a little something just so you get something out of it. There are elementals and dragons nearby, within a mile of you.
Okay, I have something for that. Sorry. Rangers are crazy.
Rangers
That's
are
sad.
crazy.
One of my favored enemies is dragons.
Okay.
Not elementals, though. So hopefully,
What Jake is saying is he hopes we run into a dragon first before an elemental.
that's what I'm saying. Sean, please make that.
That may or may not happen. It depends on you.
So they're my favorite enemies. Advantage on tracking them. Int to recall. Advantage on int checks to recall information about them. Yeah.
Okay. After you get done, like, kind of trancing for a moment, or pinging, I don't know. How would you describe what you just did?
Google Mapsing the dragons.
Google Maps.
I picture saving noise as like the bugbear version of Sam Elliott. So he's got a big mustache, and when he does primeval awareness, he just kind of goes like that and starts sensing stuff. Yes.
Mustache kind of.
Yeah. The
Wiggles.
mustache basically just goes.
Okay. So when you get done doing that, the rumbling from behind you, like increases, and you just hear this. Just it's no longer stepping; it's just this like rumble, and you can feel it beneath your feet. And as you enter the room, it gets right underneath you, and then you hear a bunch of like all these like high pitched noises from under the ground, and it goes back into the other room.
Well, that was unsettling. I guess we're lucky.
So I guess the question now is: do we explore the room with the X on the ground, or do we go back to where the noise was? Both have been bad choices and good choices in my history, so I'm fine with whichever.
Divrin, Euphoria, what do you say?
I vote for the not creepy noise option because that seems like it's best.
I must agree with her. I don't think we should further engage that creature.
Okay.
So further into the room it is.
Okay. This room is damp. It smells very like moldy, musty almost. On the other side of the room, there's like a 25-foot by 20-foot tunnel that is also like man-made. Looks like it's been cut out of the rock.
So I have no idea about the odd-looking floor 10 feet in. So I'm just going forward.
Hold on there, Ishro. What did we say? How about you grab onto my cape?
Very well. Feels too much like an invalid.
I mean, you can hold my hand if you want.
I can't believe we brought Grandpa down here. It's so irresponsible. You should be watching his shows right now, not in Undermountain.
I will point out that this grandpa, as you call me, it does have a sizable kill count and heal count, so perhaps you're lucky to have me instead.
I apologize, Ishro. I wasn't saying that in game, but since apparently it made it past the
Made it
veil.
He just had, Ishur just had this faint sense from his deity that someone was calling him grandpa. And he just looking out into the void.
I like that. Yeah, your god alerts you to meta insults.
Yeah, someone's calling you grandpa somewhere.
Okay, that's definitely a thing now. So you all just watch Ishro just speak it out into nothingness, just talk into nothing.
Excellent.
Oh man, that's great.
So,
I think he's lost his mind.
well, he's got a sizable kill count apparently.
I was
Of what,
talking to
ants?
my shadowy friend here, Death.
This is. I'm really glad Gurgle Noise is not here to run away from this dark death figure. He was quite afraid of a lot of things when he was a kid.
Oh, one should not fear death. It is a natural part of life. Where is the value in life if it never comes to an end? It is unavoidable. It is natural and definitely should never be feared. So
As much
you're-
as I would
brother did fear it.
And Ishro, we're in the middle of a tunnel, and an underground creature just came underneath us. We need to keep moving. Please keep that. Put a pin in that, and we will get back to that once we have found a safer abode to pontificate about death in.
That is fair. I will point out that you did stop me from going forward, though.
To prevent you from dying.
Perhaps we should let him lead.
No, no,
Different.
not a bad idea.
Divrin's true colors show.
Mm-hmm.
Do
He
it.
doesn't fear death, so
Give it
they
to
can
him.
hold hands and lead us.
Um,
I mean, if you want me to, so be it. Continues walking.
Nope, 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 nope.
Ishro,
Bird
what?
grabs his shell and goes, please stop walking.
Different
Don't
just like,
indulge them.
what? He volunteered.
To be fair, I did basically volunteer.
To be fair, we should keep moving or something.
Ishro, while everyone is once everyone stops talking for just a moment, you hear, with your stupid high passive perception, you hear a distant hum. A
Is that coming from the other side of the room?
It is coming from the other side of the room.
So I think we might have an interesting figure ahead of us. Whoever it is definitely not perturbed by this environment and is humming through him or herself. Just so you're all aware that we might be greeting someone soon. Manners do matter after all.
Okay.
So, with the ledge that's around the room, and with the tunnel on the other side, is there like a space for like someone to lay or like stand flush up against the wall? Like
Yeah.
outside of the entrance of it? Is it like even?
Yes, I think I know what you're asking.
I'm asking.
So
I think can we skirt the odd effect?
yes, you can
Yeah.
skirt around it. It goes all the way around. It's all
Okay.
the way around.
Nobody has to step on the X.
Oh, it's not an X. So the floor is not the X. There was an X at the entrance of this room, like in the little hall leading to it. And the floor itself in the room, in the center, is this circular. Just it looks odd, almost liquid. You're not sure.
Can I make a survival check to see if it's anything natural or?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Nope. 8.
8. Okay. Looking at it, it like you see stone in it, but it just doesn't look quite right. It doesn't look solid.
Can I throw a ball bearing in it?
Sure.
Okay, I do that.
When you do, the ball bearing sits on this. It goes pluck. It makes like a little pluck noise, and it just sits on the surface for a moment, and then sinks below the surface.
Yeah, I think we should steer clear of this here. Floor.
What do you think it is made out of?
Sorry.
Something sticky or something partially does it move? Do I see it disappear like quickly, or does it just sink kind of slowly?
It stays on the top of
Right.
on the surface for a little bit, and then it bloop, just goes underneath.
So it's transparent. You said it's transparent. It's not opaque.
No, it's opaque. Yeah, the floor is opaque.
It's opaque.
Yeah, it looks wet.
It's something bad.
Can I have 2 empty vials with me? Can Differin get a vial full of whatever that nasty stuff is?
Well, bye, different.
Sure.
Oh,
So, Divrin, you come up to the surface of this, or the edge of this, and you take your vial and you reach it in, and when you try to scoop it up, you meet some resistance for a moment, and then do you push harder or do you like kind of just gently put it in?
No, he has evil uses for this, so he wants. I mean, uses for this, so he wants to to fill that little vial up.
Okay, so as you kind of push down on it, it seems to get more solid for a second, and then you like try to push into it more, and slowly but surely it and then scoops up, and your whole hand is now in it.
Is it like Jello?
It feels kind of like jelly, yeah, like jelly mixed with sand.
That's an odd combination. So, what would happen if you put a foot on it? Because it
Find out.
solidifies with more weight.
No,
No,
no, that's not what happened.
So initially, when you put the vial there, it's like resisted you, but when you pushed like more, like enough, after a certain amount of time, it gave, and then it gave so much that your hand went into it. You try to pull your hand back out
Slowly.
slowly. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause he's just like.
Make a strength check.
This is like I know how Sean's feeling as like a DM because you want certain things to happen in a situation like this, but
Could I see the, well, I assume more hearing than seeing, or just see the shadowy shape of it?
17. Good luck, Sean.
All right, you
17.
Never mind.
You
I was
meet some
going to say I was going
resistance
to
and
cast
you
guidance.
rip it out.
are you
Trapping me in this.
satisfied, Divrin?
Does anybody have any toast?
Why would we have toast?
I have jelly for you.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
Well, I mean, give me a night to sleep and I can bake something.
Gorgonor, it's not the time for toast.
I love him.
No time for toast.
How is... Tell my
Oh.
brother he has no physical being, so he has no use for food. He is obsessed with it.
I'm pretty sure you'd be obsessed with food too if you couldn't fucking eat it anymore.
Well, I'm not
He has a
the
point.
numbskull who put a heart up to his heart.
We did tell him not to do that.
And to be fair
Repeatedly.
to your brother, though, I have done similar in the past and I'm still here. I think that was about 17 years ago.
All right, let's keep going.
You, perhaps you should walk across this and see what happens.
If we're gonna
Different.
do that.
Ishro, I think you seem like a particularly insightful fella, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can understand Divrin's meaning. So Divrin, please, we need some healing in this party. Unless you have suddenly got training in the healing arts.
A bit of fire and a bit of steel cauterize anything.
She has a point.
Yeah.
Typical Divrin. I don't need nobody.
I don't need nobody.
Your arm's off. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
He's the Black Knight.
I was just about to say the Black Knight from Monty
Yeah.
Python.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good.
Tis but a scratch.
Scratch.
Just a flesh wound.
Ishro, you are now hearing, along with the humming, which is not stopped, like it sounds like someone hitting stone with like maybe like a pickaxe or something. It's like a tink, 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 tink.
So I have an update for you all. Our humming chap seems to be also a miner, I think. Unless there's some other reason to be hitting a stone with a pickaxe. Wonder if it's
Well-
pastime.
Let's just stealth ahead.
All right. I take it you guys shimmy along the wall there.
Yeah, I'm not stepping in that.
As we're
Aw.
going, could Isho actually come close to Divrin and just in a whisper say, "I do have to thank you for giving me such an opportunity to pull this prank on these other two. so amusing to make people think I'm so absent-minded. I don't get to do that much. Thank you. And just continues on.
Am I still drunk?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is
I need
gonna be great. All right, you guys go around the edge of this room. You go through the next tunnel. There's no X on the floor in this one. As you guys go through this long tunnel, all of you are able to eventually hear this ping, 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 ping. You hear like metal on stone. Ping, ping, ping.
Like a humanoid voice singing?
Yeah, it's humming. It sounds really big, the voice. It's very booming.
As a ranger, I have a feature that allows me to sense humming.
Yes.
Why don't you guys make a nature check?
Cool.
Nat 1.
Woohoo!
15 from Ishro.
Oh, come here. Dropped it.
9.
I gotta. Oh, yes! I don't want to turn it so it is, so you can see that it's real, but that is a nat 20. A little spider.
Nice.
You can see.
All right, so everyone give me their totals.
1.
Plus.
15.
1. My nature is
22.
0.
Oh.
I got a 15 plus 0 as well.
Alright, dogs, go on. No.
All right.
Yeah, I got a 9 total.
9 total.
Roll 6.
Divrin.
22 total.
All right. So Ishro, you think that you might recognize this voice as like some sort of giant. It sounds just huge, and you know that giants tend to have humanoid type practices. They are people of their own.
Mm-hmm. Was it Maghild who last introduced me to a giant? Was that Brunhild?
Divrin, you recognize specifically, that that this is indeed a stone giant. You recognize that gravelly tone anywhere.
It is a stone giant. I would recognize that gravelly tone anywhere.
So, what do you propose we do here?
Not get stepped on.
Kill it?
I don't recommend it.
I
Unless you
would
are
ask that we
suddenly
don't.
powerful.
Can't we just make friends with them?
A
I would
charismatic
definitely
fellow
say-
such as myself.
Yeah, no, not you. I was mainly me doing all the talking. Oh,
Gurgle
wait.
Noise had a propensity for making friends with the weirdest things growing up. I'm sure he would luck his way into somehow getting invited to this stone giant's dinner.
What's the turtle's idea? Turtle, what is your idea?
Jesus.
That's
Oh,
so rude.
Sorry, I was lost in the last time I encountered a giant. I think those friends are dead as well, actually. I'll have to check when I get it. Anyway, sorry. I would ask that we not kill this giant. I'd ask that we don't kill if we need to.
Nobody said anything about killing them.
That
Well,
won't
actually,
be a
someone
problem.
did. But
But I am not exactly. I have not exactly forgotten my old manners and how to interact and talk, so we could perhaps lend assistance in that if need be.
Maybe you
Okay.
could-
You guys sneak up and introduce yourselves. I will hang back and notch an arrow in case things things go wrong.
I should point out again, I don't do stealthy anymore.
Oh, no, you would just go walking right up like the charismatic people that you are.
Exactly, yes.
Right.
What's
You
that
should
gurgle
go
noise? The crown? I completely forgot about it.
What's this crown he's talking about?
You should use it. You should wear it. It's quite fetching.
Yeah. So if I put this on, I'm gonna be dumb as hell, but I'm I'm sure gonna be pretty. So I mean, if worse comes to worse, maybe he won't want to push my face in because it'll be too beautiful to do so. But someone's gonna need to lead me to the stone giant because I'm probably gonna forget how to walk.
I sure
Like
hope
this
this
hard.
stone giant's into tieflings.
Not here to kink shame anybody. Before he
I-
puts the crown on her head.
I can serve as your guide.
All right. For those of you that can see Euphoria, Euphoria is already quite good looking as a tiefling, but she's already pretty charismatic. She puts this crown on, she becomes almost angelic. And
That's awkward
gains like a blank. Yeah, right.
for a tiefling.
Um, she she has this blank stare on her face, though. You can definitely tell that like something has happened to her mind.
I'm just going to, in that case, rest my hand on her elbow and cast light on my cane and start approaching the stone giant.
Okay.
Is she dumber than Gurgle Noise?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a point.
Yep.
Whoa.
Because it's -7, right, to your intelligence?
Yeah, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so Euphoria's intelligence is like a 5 right now.
That's rough.
I wasn't
Yeah.
kidding when I said that she's probably gonna forget how to walk.
I have a
She
question.
can remember how to breathe.
Yeah.
Do any of you speak giant?
I do not.
Nope.
I do not. No.
Oh, I do.
Thank God.
Do you really? Oh man,
Really?
this is gonna be great.
I might
Yes.
have some.
Well, you remember some words.
Well,
You might have to make a few int saves to hold a conversation, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I had an idea, but she blew it putting that on. Oh well.
Okay, well, if
We
you
should
guys
try
are,
this.
if you guys are walking up to the stone giant,
As we're approaching, I'm reaching into one of my many pouches, pulling out a small clay model of a ziggurat and running it along the symbol of Osiris on my shield. And as the dirt dissolves, I'm casting tongues on myself, so I can understand any spoken language I hear, and when I speak, I am understood.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. You hear the as you enter the room. Your light reaches out far enough. You can see like this large gray, definitely stone-like leg. It's completely bare. The muscles on it are very pronounced, and it's a very like large, like calloused foot. Um, that's all you can see. Um, for those who can see a bit farther, you just see this gigantic 18-foot man in like nothing but a loincloth, um, just standing up and chiseling a carving into the stone walls. There's like bits of stone like falling down off from him. And as he's doing that, he's humming. And when you hit your light on and enter the room, he and you you hear him like drop both of his tools, and this large chisel and hammer um, fall down on the floor, and he comes over and sets a couple of elbows down and looks down and presents his face. He's bald and has like a furrowed brow, and he has these large kind of opalescent eyes. And he looks at you, and in giant he goes, "What's this?"
Hello there. I'm so sorry to disturb you from your work. Just heard a noise and thought we might go investigate while we were passing through. I hope you don't mind, of course.
It's a turtle. He reaches out and like tries to.
Yes.
He reaches out and like tries to grab you.
Don't, please. I
Do
don't
it.
mind being referred to as a turtle. Happened a lot actually when I was younger. Never mind. But please don't pick me. I don't really like being off the ground.
He like backs his hand off, kind of scratches his head, and goes, "Whoa!" And looks over at you for it, and it's like shiny. Why you're so small?
What's it saying?
It is asking us why we're so small. My gentle friend, I would say that you're so tall.
Oh, uh, wait. You're the bad people. And he starts
Oh,
kind of backing up.
have you heard from us somewhere? Because I assure you, my friend, I'm definitely not a bad person, or at least I would not call myself a bad person. The question of morality is, sorry, tangent. I would not call myself a bad person.
You make all the stuff confusing.
Turtle.
It
What is
seems
he
like you're
saying?
kind of like losing him a little.
I don't mean to be rude, but to explain, in what manner do we apparently make things confusing? I'm sorry, I'm new to this whole little area. I've not really been here before.
Oh, me too. I just woke up here. I think. My
Could I,
family's here.
could I make an insight check?
Yeah.
I'm not sure to actually wake up here. Well, leaves and plus a 21.
21. Okay. What are you trying to determine?
Just is he telling the truth, or does he believe at least that he's telling the truth?
He believes he's telling the truth. He seems a little confused about his own situation. Perhaps he's not in his right state of mind. Um, but he doesn't seem to like you. Um,
Yeah.
he's a little like unsure about your validity.
Give the signal.
Might I
You sh-
ask my friend, uh, these confusing images, I presume, that you experience, do they ever present themselves in a specific way, a specific form?
Um, I forget things. There's forest in my cave sometimes.
I hope you don't find this intrusive, but are you injured anywhere? I'm somewhat of a medicine man. I wonder if that
Me?
might be the reason why you are forgetting things so readily.
Oh, you do magic. See, I knew you were bad. Roll like a persuasion.
Yep.
What am I seeing from a distance? Like,
You're seeing
do,
this like this giant is kind of like down on the ground, kind of crouching, like listening to him, and you just hear like. He's like just having a conversation.
So not like an aggressive posture yet.
He seems kind of defensive.
So I got a dirty 20.
Okay. He like just kind of side eyes you. It's like, are you sure you're not making the stuff with the magic?
My magic is more towards fixing wounds and curing ails. I don't really do illusionary tricks, I'm afraid. Well, I suppose that's a good thing.
What do you want?
Me and my group, we were just passing through, really trying
Passage.
to move.
You just randomly say passage.
Yeah, no, Euphoria's had this really like vapid look on her face, but like that's the one thing that has been like circling through her mind is like we just need to get through. But it takes her forever to get that out.
As my friend said, we're looking for a passage through this level of the mountain.
Huh. I don't know about that. This is my house. And he stands up.
Is it reasonable that I think that's aggressive?
Potentially. And he turns
Turtle.
around.
Can I shoot him?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Turtle, tell him we have a gift for him.
I'm more like
I'm assuming the arrow's being fired as you're saying that.
Totally have a gift for him.
yeah, and let me know, Sean. Bugbears have a feature trait once per combat. If they surprise a creature and hit it with an attack on your first turn in combat, the attack deals an extra 2d6 damage. Would that apply?
Yes. He's turned his back to you. Yes, you may use it.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot him with my longbow
Oh,
and
boy.
sharpshooter.
That
My
is
friend
probably
wishes
the
to say
best
that
decision you've made.
Sharpshooter, so that's 18.
You are able to hit him.
Okay.
Roll damage.
Of course, I roll a 1. 5 plus 2d6. Fantastic. 17 plus 10, 27.
27 damage. All right. So, he turns around kind of like in a dismissive manner. And he gets hit in the back with this arrow all of a sudden from nowhere. It just hits him. And he goes, oh! He goes,
And then, can I shoot him again for extra attack?
no, before you get to shoot him again,
Okay.
he takes off running and goes, invasion! Arm yourselves! We're under attack! All you hear is giant.
That could have gone better.
He runs to a tunnel to the left, and there is a tunnel on the right as well in this room. When you look up, what he was carving was like some weird symbol.
Saving Noise runs up and says, well, I think I got him pretty good there, but I lost him in the darkness and such, so why don't we get going?
Might I ask, Saving Noise, what in Osiris's good graces gave you that so intelligent idea to attack a non-threatening entity in the back while I was talking?
Well, Ishro, as a as a ranger monster slayer, I happen to have some insight into the body posture and body language of creatures such as that. And I think it was going south. Would you say you were making progress?
I had been convinced that I was not the cause of what was distressing it, which, if you were interested, was illusions apparently assaulting it. I have also reason to believe that it suffered some form of injury, as it said it woke up here, yet this is its home and its entire family is here. Further, it just explained to me that this cave was its home when you so kindly decided to shoot it in the back.
Did you think it was standing up to take you to dinner?
Oh no, it was just standing to walk away. It saw the conversation is done.
Standing to walk away for what reason?
Review.
If it was going well, I assume it wouldn't walk away.
If it was going well, and yet there was no other avenue to pursue, it would walk away.
Well, I shot it, so now here we are. And if you'll excuse me, I'll shoot it again if I see my arrow sticking out of its back.
So noted, my friend.
I
You
think
coming?
you made the turtle mad.
It's fine with me. I've made worse mad.
Hey, you say that now. Anyway, shall we continue on? I would ask that we go to the right instead of to the left, as I do not wish to pursue a gentle giant down.
I think I
Does
like
it-
the old man. Perhaps we should go to the right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Someone take. I'm gonna. I know the crown is affecting her so with the intelligence.
You've
Correct.
adventured with her before. You're aware of that item.
Okay. I'm
Should
gonna.
leave it on.
I'm gonna pop it off her head.
Right. As you do, she makes no attempt to stop you, and like all of a sudden the like brilliance, of her visage fades back to normal.
What'd I
Well-
miss?
Well-
Giant ran, and now we're going in the opposite direction of giants.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Here's your crown.
Thanks.
Before Saving Noise shot the giant, I was going to have Grandpa here. See if we could give him a gift and get him to wear said crown.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I missed? You shot him?
Mm-hmm.
Different.
Yes.
Do you particularly think that isn't a gift? That's a gift you would give someone? Like that is something good you would
Yes.
Do
Makes
like no
sense.
idea of a gift, though. I wonder if I could have offered to try and remove whatever was affecting his mind.
We
think I
should
can-
move.
It's on me.
Yeah, we're
Probably.
going.
It wouldn't have been smart enough to attack us. But no one's asking me.
It's true.
Oh my! All right.
I promise next time I will not try to protect any of you.
Duly
I'd
noted,
prefer
the
if
favor
that
will be returned.
If that protection did not come at the cost of assaulting a non-threatening entity.
If you think adventuring is a black and white thing where every situation is clear, you would be wrong. And by your comments, I can tell you have not adventured quite as much as you lead us to believe.
Oh, my friend, I've seen much more than you would imagine. But let us continue on.
I think I want the turtle to walk next to me. For a lesser race. You're quite amusing.
Different. We don't talk
Your
about people like
compliments.
that.
Even your compliments are backhanded.
To be fair, I have heard worse before. Yalvina had a particular biting wit.
Just because you heard words doesn't make it okay.
Oh, I'm not saying otherwise. It's just I've grown accustomed. As I said, Yalvina didn't exactly like me in our first all meetings.
As you guys
Me
enter
too,
more
but
into this room, you see multiple carvings in the stone that are kind of like abstract shapes, different symbols, and there's one in particular of a. It looks like kind of an outline of a man, but has like asymmetrical kind of spikes jutting off of the shoulder. If
What on
anyone would
earth
like
is
to make
that?
a religion check.
I will try. 15.
21.
12.
I got 17.
All right. So you guys generally know that this is a carving of Scoreus Stone Bones. He is the god of the stone giants, and these abstract shapes are typically a form of worship that are carved into stone.
We just walked into his church and then shot him.
Pretty much.
Rude.
Can I make I guess, an investigation check to see if there's anything in the room of any value or information?
Now we're gonna steal from him, apparently.
Different has no problems with stealing from a church.
Okay. With your passive perception of 19, you don't notice anything particularly shiny or different other than the stone carvings. The floor of the room's pretty bare. Make an active perception check and see if you can get higher.
That's a 12.
Yeah, no. You don't really notice anything else. Room seems pretty empty.
Well, it's an empty room. What do you want to do?
And there's no other path leading off.
So there's the path to the left that he went on, path to the right. The path to the right, you will notice with y'all's good passive perceptions that there's another X.
Go stand on the X.
Okay, why not?
You go stand on the X. It's just an X. It's an X carved into the floor.
I'm wondering if perhaps we should follow the X's, perhaps as a trail marker. I mean, they very well could be a do not enter sign, but it's 50-50.
And it keeps going, the tunnel, or?
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. I guess keep
Shall we?
going. I'm gonna
not?
stealth.
Okay. You guys are going to the tunnel to the right or the left?
The tunnel on the right.
Right. Okay.
And I'm maintaining that light stealth just for now.
I'm gonna stealth separate because of the light. Is that cool?
Okay, so you're gonna get out of the light.
Yeah.
And stealth, yeah.
So I think I get. What was the thing I told you that I get if I'm separate? Oh, I can move stealthily at a normal pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not very.
Go normal speed.
23.
Okay. Everyone just notices that, well, except for Ishro. Ishro, you can still see saving noise, but everyone else, saving noise just disappeared.
I would have told them like I'm going to stealth. I wouldn't have just like done it.
Were you gonna like scout ahead or just like be alongside them?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you go ahead into the next room, there is a room. It's very similar to the room before this one. It's circular. It's got an edge around it, and there's that weird wet stuff in the middle. But it's kind of a figure 8 instead of just one circle. It's 2 circles. In the next one, it's slightly elevated, and there seems to be a large rock formation in the middle of it.
No creatures that I can see.
It's really quiet in here.
Is there another door out?
Mhm.
Or can we not see it? Oh, there is.
Yeah, you can see one more. Like far in the distance, you can see one.
I'll
Shall
keep
we?
going.
Might
Is there
as well
anything of
continue.
any note of the thing in the center?
Okay. So the like liquidness in the center of that first room, exactly the same. It's just more sloped. Um, Around the walls, though, of this room, there are lots and lots of like claw marks, not similar to the ones you saw earlier. These are much larger and they're in sets of 3.
Would you say they're Umber Hulk larger, spider larger,
Why
minotaur?
don't you make a nature check for me?
Can I also do a nature check?
Of course.
Or is this for anybody who wants to?
You are all in the room. You all
Dirty
Cool.
have
20.
the ability to know.
Dirty 20.
Yay.
Yay.
18.
Not good.
21.
Okay. Yeah, you guys all have seen these before in your adventures. These are the claw marks of a basilisk.
Huh.
Particularly nasty creature known to turn people to stone with its gaze.
Do I know that that's like a burrowing creature, or
Um, with your 12, no, but I feel like everyone else would be able to do something like that. They're not known particularly to like burrow.
okay?
Well, I have a plan. Since this appears to be basilisk markings, I have a set of thieves' tools with me, and in that set is a long pole with a mirror attached to it.
Aha.
Perhaps we should use this to peer around corners before we blindly rush in. In order to be turned to stone, I would assume you must peer into its eyes directly.
By
Right.
that same by that same measure, can we turn it to stone by having it look at itself in the mirror?
It's worth a shot.
Sounds reasonable.
As a quick question, would I, with 18 on my check, would I have an inkling that the player does, that Greater Restoration would be able to undo the petrification by Basilisk?
Yes, you would definitely know that, especially as someone who knows that spell. If you know that spell, you practice that spell before, you'd be aware that can undo that.
For what it's worth as well, should we encounter this basilisk and one of you does wind up looking into his eyes, I am capable of reversing the effects. I do have a limit on how much I can do. It does cost quite a hefty amount of diamonds, but I can do it once or twice.
I say the turtle goes in the center so he isn't killed. That way, if the bear gets turned to stone, we can turn him back.
The
I mean,
bear.
But
Never just called you a bear.
he, saving noise is not as in that area. Doesn't care as much.
And assumed you would be the only one getting turned to stone.
I assume that we've been traveling together long enough. Like it's
He
clear
knows.
Divrin is what Divrin is.
Different
Good way to
is.
put it.
Hashtag jerk drow. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So I take it you guys are going to treat that first room exactly the same as you did before. You're going to skirt around the edge of it. When you go into this second room, it's almost a landing. It's up a little higher in elevation. But in the middle is this just it almost looks like a small mountain in the middle of this room. And there are around the edges like several like other statues and like pieces of stone that are scattered across this floor. The ceiling's very high. It's like 40 feet.
What do the other statues look like?
People.
What kinds of people?
If you look closely, you can see. Let's see what do we have. We have 2 drow, a few troglodytes, a hobgoblin, some dwarves,
Durgar or normal dwarves?
Dwergar, several bullywugs, and 2 humans.
I presume that you look creepily lifelike.
They do look creepily lifelike. Some of them have like pieces of themselves that are like just strewn about. They're missing like arms or faces or things like that.
Or I think the idea of a basilisk has just been proven.
Do we hear anything in this room that makes us think there's anything in here, or
This
is
room
it
is
empty?
eerily silent. It is like weird how quiet it is in here. It's like a tomb. As you get closer and closer to the rock formation in the middle of the room, make a perception check for me.
I'm gonna stay on the edge of the room.
Can anyone make this perception check? Just to check.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
I got a
light,
math.
right?
Yeah, I'm maintaining that height for now.
Woo, I got a 20. 24. I had to math that one. I'm a little slow
22.
today.
That's a 20. It is a 20 for you.
All right. Jess, what you got?
16.
All right. Yeah, you all can tell this. The rock formation is a basilisk, but it is stone.
Looks like someone already did the job, huh?
If we were able to have a night's rest, I would be able to make it so that I could peer at the weave itself and determine magical gatherings and schools. Out of curiosity, does anyone else here have that ability? I won't have access to it until I sleep. I need to be in prayer to Osiris.
Mm,
Is this a divining thing?
A way to detect magical effects.
I
Oh,
might be able to do it.
I do not. I have something that can protect us magically. Maybe not from creatures like that though.
I can do it. I have a. I might be able to figure out what it is or what magic it is.
I'm just curious as to whether the basilisk is caught under its own effect, or if the stone giants that we know are present might have encased it in stone.
Do any of us know how a basilisk molts?
That's a good point.
Would that be a nature check?
That would be an Arcana check, actually, I think.
Okay. I'm down for that. 21.
Basilisks do not molt per se. They do grow and kind of shed small bits of themselves, but they don't like do the whole skins. You wouldn't find like a basilisk molting, or carapace, or however you want to say that. However, you definitely know that it is possible with that Arcana check for a basilisk to be caught in its own effect.
Yeah, so I'll relay that. So it's very possible that someone might have done the mirror trick with it. If we want me to confirm it, I can. All I have to do is touch it and sit there for a minute.
I think we should be fine. That's no point dallying around. I've just had the perhaps unsettling thought. Our stone giant friend did mention that he was perceiving trees within his own cave, illusions, I presume. It seems this area might be infested with other forms of life beyond Basilisk and Stone Giant, whatever is causing these illusions. And perhaps it is the reason why this place is so quiet and the Basilisk is as it is. Perhaps we should move on quickly before we draw its attention.
This is the end of the line, though, right, Sean?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's more. So as you guys pass by, you can the face of the basilisk kind of comes into view, and you can see it kind of just like eyes wide open and like mouth open with large teeth, all in stone. As the eyes are about to be lit up by your light, they're glossed over. You guys head into the next room.
Just before we leave, sorry, Ishra's going to stop at the doorway and just run his hand over the emblem of Osiris on his shield and mutter a quick prayer to those that were caught in Devastus' gaze, a quick apology that he's not able to free them right now, and then follow and catch up.
Okay. Inspiration.
Inspirational.
So he goes. All right. So you're at the back. Okay. You go into the next portion, into a short hallway that is extremely tall. It keeps like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it starts out about 15 feet tall, gets to about 30, 40, 50, 60 feet tall, and it's almost like a funnel turned around, going into the next room. When you enter the next room, it is enormous. There's crystals that are all to the sides of you and all along the floor. There's small bits of crystal everywhere. It kind of looks like quartz. And there is a large like wall in front of you, or at least what looks like a wall from your perspective. It seems to go on for a long ways. In the middle
Are
of
there
it, there's
free
a tall
floating
door.
chunks of crystal that we can just, get sticky fingers with?
They're just growing out of the ground, like just. So you could like potentially like get some off of there.
You said it was
kick one.
quartz.
It looks like quartz. Yeah. It's kind of like it's a light violet color with bits of clear and opaque white here and there.
Diver's gonna kick one and break a piece off and take it.
Okay. As you kick it, like some of it cleaves on a small piece and like hits the ground and like shatters, and when it does, like dust, like crystal dust all over the floor, like goes up in this big cloud. Everyone make a con check.
Oh no.
How close do I have to be? Because I was doing the stealthing thing away from them.
You would not be affected. You'd have to be pretty close.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
5.
Yeah, I assume I would be up there as well if I was checking to see if it was quartz. So 7.
Okay. With your 5 and 7 con checks, you have disadvantage on attacks for the next minute.
Okay.
Okay, so we just need to stand somewhere.
You feel kind of winded, like it's hard to breathe when that stuff hits your lungs.
What on earth is this? I hope we can sell it for a good price.
When you look up on the crystals and some of the bigger ones, there's large, like, for lack of a better visual, there's bite marks in it.
How big are these teeth marks?
Like giant sized.
Could I, just out of paranoia, I'm just going to mutter a quick prayer to Osiris under my breath. and I'm using the Eyes of the Grave
Okay.
just to see if there's any undead, just out of paranoia.
Okay. Looking around, you do not see any undead.
Okay.
So Divron's gonna levitate up. It's usually where the trouble starts when he starts levitating. To look at the bite marks further. And is there anything that he would notice? Any information?
Um, uh, okay. What you can see as you go up, um, you notice there are bite marks on lots of these rock formations, like these crystal formations. They're kind of scattered about the entire room. Um, the wall curves eventually a little bit. Um, and as you get higher, you start to hear real high pitched squeaking.
What does the squeaking sound like? Do I know what that is?
Make a nature check.
Yeah. Maybe those are rats and not baby basilisks or something insane?
Bats, maybe.
I can only hope.
Basilisk bats? Jeez.
11?
Basilisk?
Basilisk.
That'd be awful.
Basilisk bats?
Basilisks.
That would be terrifying.
Got an 11.
You got an 11. It sounds kind of like a bat. Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. He's gonna inch up a little higher to get a little bit closer to the ceiling.
How high are you up now?
Like, how tall is the ceiling?
You've gone into the room, so the ceiling's about 100 feet high.
About 100 feet.
You're gonna go up to the top. Okay.
He's just like,
Get those D6s ready there, Sean.
Yeah, right? All right.
yeah, I'm scared now. He's just gonna start going up to see what he can see slowly.
As you approach the ceiling, you notice that there are quite a few stalactites there. They're very large. And you can see kind of across and to your left that there's like a little alcove that's at the top of this wall structure. And there are... Yeah, you can't really see into it. There's an alcove there. The crystals keep on going. There's still the wall, there's still the door, but that's about it. Other than that, you notice that there's like stalactites that are all around you.
There's an alcove up here. Perhaps I think I'm going to investigate.
Was that to yourself?
Loudly so you guys can hear.
Okay.
He's just gonna get a little bit closer. We ain't not going in there.
Oh, come on! It sounded like such a good idea that I laughed.
No. I know, so I said no.
Okay, so as you get a little bit closer, make a dex save for me.
Because he's also, almost completely silent, except for yelling back to the others. Except for that. 7. So since it's a save...
Look at it!
Yeah. But I'm really
Look at
quiet.
us! I got a 14.
Okay. You hear like a whoosh, like whip kind of noise come from one of the stalactites, and it whips like past your face, but misses you.
I know what this is.
When you turn around and look at it, there's a large eye on one of them.
He starts descending quickly. I don't think we should, Jay. I think we should leave. We're not alone.
But you were so confident a moment ago.
He's worried about the party. You might become injured, so We should move.
This is probably like the most obvious, like Different's obviously scared of something and is just trying to hide it.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
He's already seen a beholder once, and he's not dealing with another one. So we're gonna like run.
Sure, let's go.
All right. Nothing follows you on your way down. What do you
Okay,
guys?
good.
What do you guys do once Difference back down on the ground?
Head
Leave
out.
the room.
Okay, so are you heading
Ow.
to the wall? Are you headed toward the alcove?
Away from the alcove.
Okay.
Yeah, like where is there another door in this room?
There's
I'm
so there's
assuming
there's a door along the wall. There's a door along the wall. It's very tall, very gothic style.
Nice.
As you
So,
guys get closer to it, you notice that it doesn't actually have like doors on it. It is more of just a doorway.
so my thought is, rather than us wandering these caverns, potentially becoming the victims of whatever illusionist is present, would it not be a potential idea to head back to the main room? Perhaps try and avoid that stampeding sound naturally, but explore there and see if the way down is present there. Rather than, as I say, wandering blindly in these caverns. We do not know this place. It is not our natural habitat. Indeed, it is the stone giant's natural habitat. The stone giants are now aware that we are present. And
Didn't
the
you-
giant such of one has been attacked by us.
I don't. It's fine if you're like. I just want to make sure I understood. This is not saving noises information. The giant said he wasn't. Like this is. He just showed up here, right?
He said he woke up.
You woke
Yeah.
up here. But he's familiar with the area. He's like,
Oh,
I
okay.
know where I am, but I just woke up here.
I think. Or he said he thought he woke up.
Okay. All right. Cool.
While you guys are talking, you hear flute music starting to be played. It's coming from that alcove.
Has there been any other music, similar experiences with music throughout the dungeon? Like in different levels, like just hearing.
Do I
Random.
recognize the tune?
Oh, do you recognize? No, you don't recognize the tune. You do not. You've never heard flute before. I mean, you've heard there have been creatures and peoples that have played music that you've encountered
Okay.
in these dungeons, but you have not heard this flute. And this flute is like really low sounding. You would almost think it was like a clarinet.
Euphoria
Without a
plays a
reed.
flute and is proficient with flute related things, which is why I was asking if she recognized the tune.
Oh, okay. No, it's a very rudimentary tune. As a flautist, you would be aware that whoever is playing is not very experienced at playing. It's like someone playing hot cross buns on a recorder.
Do you wish to investigate this music?
I'll take the rear.
I will take the rear.
I guess I'm leading then. Follow
Yep.
me.
We'll follow the blind old man.
I mean, I can give them lessons, probably get them to stop playing that stuff and maybe move on to more classy stuff.
Like Rachmaninoff or.
Three blind mice.
Yeah.
Nope. Ishro takes the lead.
All right, where are we going, Ishra?
I'm heading towards the flute music.
Okay, so you head away from the doorway on the wall and head toward the left. As you go for a little ways, it starts curving around, and then it meets the wall, and there are a set of stairs going up to the top of the wall that are carved into the rock.
I will slowly hobble them.
Okay. Do-do, do-do.
Essentially, yes. Well, it's 3 noises because it's the cane doing most of the work.
All right. As you get closer to the music, are you guys wanting to come up stealthily or just walk right up?
I do.
Stealth.
I can't, so
I'll be out in the open with Ishiro
Okay.
with my
22.
flute at the
22.
ready.
Okay. Devrin, what are you doing?
Stealth.
Okay.
Most definitely as stealthily as possible.
All right.
Especially after that. But he's gonna have his hand on his hand crossbow just in case.
Okay. Roll stealth.
21.
All right. Good stealth, guys. So you guys are going up the stairs. You have your stealthy buddies following you. As you come to like the top of the stairs, the like mouth of this alcove um, is on your left, and along the wall you see that these are actually like ramparts. And now that you're at the top of it, you can see over it, and in it is a large cathedral that's been carved out of the rock. On it are tons and tons of crystals. You can almost not see the rock anymore. But more and more of those crystals are all over it. So it's just kind of like, if there were any light in here, it would like, besides yours, it would like probably light up like a Christmas tree. But it just kind of like glitters with a little bit of light in the chamber.
That's a helpful defense mechanism for a structure to have those crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Basilisk protection, perhaps?
Who knows? The music kind of stops for a moment.
I'm just going to head towards where it was, announcing my presence. Just hello there. I was wondering if I might talk to you for a moment. If it's been within an hour, I still have tongs active.
Okay. Out of the darkness, you hear,
Should I take that as a declining to talk? I can go my way if you wish.
I can teach you how to play.
You hear a booming voice come out of the darkness in the alcove. I don't want to play better.
That's fair.
Are you saying I play bad?
No, just offering free help, I suppose.
Leave me alone.
Okay. I'm gonna start playing.
You start playing your flute?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you try to walk away?
Oh, I'm not walking away.
You're just like
I'm gonna
standing at the front,
I'm
like
gonna
mockingly playing?
stand. I'm
Playing the
standing
flute.
right here and start playing. Yeah.
Okay. As you play, you
Do you want a performance check?
yes.
If so, it's
yes,
a 28.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, expertise.
You probably make this entity feel so bad.
So
He's gonna feel bad for telling me no. He doesn't want my help.
So into your range of vision, you see this giant head, literally a giant head. So another stone giant. This one, female. Kind of puts her face out toward you and goes, "My bat's like that." And she takes this stone flute that she's made and goes, whoop, like plays this note, and you see like a swarm of giant bats like go and they start flying around you as you
Okay.
play. You play pretty.
You can play pretty too. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Who are you?
My name's Euphoria. And these are my friends. This is Ishro, and then she points to Ishro. And then behind me are Divrin
She
and
tilts her head to the
Saving
side.
Noise.
Are you sure? I don't see
shy.
anyone.
They're shy.
Can I play my bagpipes?
Bagpipes?
She's giving away our location.
And as Divrin's saying that, I pull out my bagpipes, which I'm proficient in,
Idiot.
and I go,
So much for stealth.
Make a performance check.
19.
All right.
Nice.
You start playing the bagpipes. And she's like, no, not that. Stop.
He stops. And if she's particularly perceptive, she would hear someone go, "Oh."
No.
Are we all playing music now? I think I have my old flute with me somewhere.
She
Just
kind of
cutting
takes her
around.
flute, goes, starts like trying to play along with you for a second. She goes, you play too fast.
I know some slow tunes. Also,
Well,
you can move your finger over just a little bit. You weren't covering that hole properly.
she looks at it for a second. Oh. She looks out and goes, where are you going?
We're just traveling through. Can you tell us where we are? I think we're a little bit lost.
This is the cathedral room. I eat the rocks here.
Are they tasty?
Oh, yes.
Do they make you feel funny?
Full?
Yes.
Funny. Do they?
Can I ask, well, first, it would only be polite to ask for your name. As introduced, I am Mishro. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Ishro. I'm Zorta.
Result, it is a absolute pleasure to meet you, and your music is beautiful, I must say, especially considering how your bats seem to enjoy it so much. But before I start rambling, might I inquire who built this chapel?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was the wizard man in the waste room.
Thank you. Might I ask, actually, by any chance, did you find yourself in this location, having woken up here, with no idea as to how you arrived here beyond that?
I slept and then I woke up.
Do you remember how you made your way to this location? Or have you
I
sort of-
climbed.
Fair enough.
You said a wizard made this cathedral?
I think so. We put his faces on the walls.
His faces? He has more than one face?
I guess so.
Would you mind showing us?
Okay. Get out of the way. She likes to.
All right. Yeah, we move.
She puts her flute on her back and just kind of like crawls out of this space and stands up on the wall. And then you see her climb down the other side, go toward the cathedral, and like quickly move with her gigantic legs, like is able to move really fast. Moves around the cathedral and goes into another tunnel. And then pops her head out and goes, "Are you coming?"
Would you mind coming back and picking us up? We can't walk as fast as you.
Is that true? Can we not walk as fast as her?
Okay.
It'll just be easier if she carries us.
To her boiling pot of stew.
She's not gonna eat us.
She can move faster than you.
Okay.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
she's
would let...
she's a giant. Her legs are long.
So she kind of just sticks both of her hands out.
Sure.
You should ask your new friend if she would allow me to have one of her bats as a companion.
We'll cross that bridge in a bit, different.
Ich
Thank you very
vermute.
much, Zorta, for giving us a ride.
She kind of puts her eyes like are right up like on you guys, like, "You're really small. Hold on." Like takes you
Jibber
around.
is not happy.
She takes you into another room that has a pit in the middle of it. In the
Where if she drops us.
and she drops you. No, okay. There's a lot of bodies in it. There's like a lot of like humanoid, not so humanoid, a lot of bones, lots of like random rocks and things, refuse, equipment. Some of them are halfway rotted, some of them are like fully gone. But on the walls of this chamber, you see these large faces of a wild human, wild-haired human. Looks a lot like how you've had Hallister described to you. Large, like flowing beard, and they're different faces making different expressions. So like one of them is like in shock, and the other one's yelling, and the other one's smiling, and different expressions along the walls.
That's creepy.
She goes, "You see, the wizard."
Yeah, and you said that he had you carve his faces into the wall?
I know Gravelock did those. He's good with carving.
Is he still good with carving after getting shot in the back?
Who shot him in the back?
That was not my voice. Don't even. Don't do this.
Zorta, have you seen this wizard in person before? If so, have you seen where he tends to appear or come from?
I don't rightly know. I can't remember past today.
As I thought. Okay, so some form of effect. Interesting. I don't think I've encountered this before. And Isho is just going to start muttering to himself.
Are there any other places in here that you can show us? Does the wizard live in that cathedral?
I don't think so. Let's look. She like, and then like the entrance to the cathedral is too small for her, so she like drops you guys off and goes, "Look inside."
All right. Will you stay here in case we need your help?
I'm bored. Sure.
You play your
just
flute.
sits, pulls her flute out and starts.
Yep, remember to keep your fingers on the holes as we
nods
walk
at you.
into the cathedral.
Okay. You go into this cathedral, and it only goes in about 20 feet, and then there's just like a sheer cliff on the inside.
Yikes.
It goes as far back as you can see, and it seems like this is like a large hole or something inside this thing. When you go up to the edge and look down, you can see the bottom, but just barely.
I'm
What's-
going to take a copper piece,
I was just gonna do that.
cast light on it, so it's now faintly glowing copper piece, and drop it down the hole.
Okay.
So there should be a bit of light to illuminate the bottom.
You drop it down the side of the cliff, and it goes about 60 foot down, and then it hits like the edge where it hits floor, and it bing kind of skips about and goes forward. And you can see that there's a lot of like multicolored rocks, and like it looks like there's maybe like gems or glass or something really shiny all over the floor, and it scatters the light, and you kind of get this like rainbow effect.
Does it look like there's any tunnels down there? Any passageways?
It looks like this is like almost like a quarry.
Okay.
So there's like a staircase leading down.
It's just a drop.
It's just sheer drop.
Mhm.
Is there anything across the chasm?
You can't see across it. It's so far.
Divrin,
Euphoria.
can you see across?
You work on her about getting me one of those bats as a companion, and I'll levitate down there and see what I see.
Saving noise. Would you be so kind as just to lend me an arrow for just a moment?
Yep.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to cast light on the arrow. Hand it back to him. Could you perhaps shoot this across the cavern just to see how far across it is?
Yes. And I
Thank you
shoot
so much.
Okay. What's the range on the thing?
on my bow.
Yeah, what is it, like 110, something like that? Or is it farther than that?
150 and 600, and I have sharpshooter.
Okay, so you want to shoot it as far as you can?
600, yeah.
All right. So you shoot it, it goes, it just goes like sailing, and you see the light like just kind of fade off in the distance, and it. You see it hit this like barrier that's almost like water that's horizontal, but it makes this it makes this like bass noise. It's whoa, 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 and you see it ripple, and the light lights up this kind of transparent rippling wall. Beyond it, you can see that there's like a spire.
Well, I don't think we're meant to go there. Or at least someone doesn't want us to.
How big are the giant bats?
The
Rideable.
giant bats. Let's take a look at those giant bats. They are large, so yeah, you can ride them.
Can they fit in the doorway of the cathedral that we just walked into, or no?
Yeah,
They
you can
can?
probably squeeze one through.
Okay.
I have a crystal crown in my bag that I will trade you for one of those bats. Looking directly at Euphoria, patting his bag.
What does the crown do?
Nothing, it's just made out of crystal. You could sell it for a lot.
I might be able to offer our giant friend outside something that she might be willing to trade a bat for. I do believe I might be able to at least attempt to alleviate whatever damage is causing her to not remember things. Since, as she said, I believe, unless I misheard, she does not remember anything beyond this day.
We can give it a shot. You want to come out with me, Ishro, and we'll see if we can strike a bargain with our giant friend?
Yes, I cannot do
Ishro.
this much, but I want to at least aid one of these giants if they
What?
are all suffering from the same thing as I fear.
What are the chances that when you cure this giant whatever ails it, that it becomes angry, or whatever you remove from it makes it not docile anymore.
I would not be affecting personality or anything like that, I don't believe. Just a simple moments of what I fear is either damage, physical damage, or a curse. I would have to try and figure out which would be the case.
So no chance.
I'm not going to say there is no chance. There are certainly certain forms of magics and enchantments that can affect behavior and personality, so it might be best to stand at the ready just in case. This time I would not be annoyed if you do happen to fire an arrow, should the question be.
I'll make sure I wait a little longer just to make sure.
Much appreciated. I do not like unnecessary aggression. But let's see if I can't give this a try.
When you turn back to the door, her face is right in the door, and she goes, "Did you find anything?"
There's a big chasm in here, and we don't think we can cross it. Do you mind if we have a bat to use so we can take a look?
"Oh, I can try." And she hear play that same tone she played earlier, and you hear the bats come down, and you hear one go just make a little squeak, and she kind of takes it, and she's just holding onto it gently. It's just kind of like not just putting up with it, basically, kind of like when you're holding a cat. Like a cat's just like, I don't like this, but sure. And she just kind of puts it through the doorway, and then sets it down, and this giant bat just kind of spreads its wings out, and she goes, "Be good, Edward," and she pets
Different's
its
eyes
head.
are just like this, wide.
The crown, please.
Here.
I pocket that crown so fast.
He goes straight to the bat and just sort of pets it.
Roll
Gurgle
animal
Noise says
handling
to
for
you,
me.
Euphoria, can I be a bat?
I don't even know if that's possible, sweetheart. You want to be a bat?
I could fly.
Oh.
Yeah, but then you can't shoot your arrows, or...
Oh, that's a good point.
I promise I'm going to get you a body. We just need to make money first.
Okay.
Automatons are expensive.
So
What'd you roll for animal handling?
Me?
No, chill.
Different.
Yeah.
An 8.
Oh no! Yeah, you
We're gonna have...
come up to the bat, and the bat kind of scoots away from you. It's and pokes you with its wing. It's like.
I still have Umber Hulk meat in my bag, and I take some and give it to it.
Okay. Roll one more time with advantage.
Oh, please.
I'm going to walk over and
like
tap
my dream.
Divin on the back and give guidance.
13.
So
There's a 13.
Roll a d4 and add it.
Okay, so I got 2 13s, and then roll a d4.
A d4 for guidance, yeah.
Where's my d4? There it is. A 2.
Okay. So 15 total.
15.
Much better. All right.
Yes!
You hold out the Umber Hulk meat, and it kind of is looking at you weird, and then it kind of moves forward, and Ishro kind of moves your elbow up just a little bit so you get it closer to its face, and it's like, and it just takes a big bite of it. So this giant bat eats that meat like a fruit bat would eat fruit. So it just like just like noms it, um, and then it like kind of rubs up on your arm, and then is like smelling around your bag to see if you have any more.
He does. He rips off another piece and will feed it. Here.
Like eats it.
Now, will you and Edward go investigate what's down at the bottom?
Of course. I'm sure Edward wouldn't mind. Pets it on the head. Outward, he's being calm, but inside, he's like, oh my god. But he's a drowned noble. He can't show that, of course. So he gets on to Edward and
Okay.
sort of.
It's a very furry bat. You feel like you might be able to hang on if you don't put any ropes or anything on him.
I don't know if I have a rope with me. Does anybody have any rope? Might make it a little easier.
Euphoria hands different ropes and stuff.
Okay, so we'll fashion like a little. I don't know. Am I tying myself to the bat, or like how's this gonna work? How do you make a saddle out of rope?
Here, I'll take care of it. Can I do a sleight of hand check to do that?
Yeah.
For stirrups.
Just make a straight dex check.
Straight dex. Okie dokie.
Rounded us up a bat.
His family never let him have a giant bat
20.
when he was a boy.
Nice. Okay. So while this bat's kind of distracted, rubbing up on Divrin, you manage to get like kind of like a bit in its mouth, just made of rope, and like some reins essentially. So just something to hang on to, and it kind of feels
The horrifying
uncomfortable, but it allows it to happen.
Image.
So he'll get onto the bat and gently kick the sides like you would a riding lizard, and let's do this.
And like starts like taking off, and you fly out into the darkness. You're able to. This bat's pretty quick. He moves in a really erratic pattern, so you know it's not like a bird where it would just be like straight out. He's kind of like constantly moving about, making these high pitched noises. And you see his ears kind of turning all around in front of you. As you approach, you notice that the spire thing that you saw is definitely made of metal. And it's not so much a spire as a spindle. And on the very tip of it, about 80 feet up from the low ground, so about 20 feet up from where you guys are at, there's a small castle, about 20 by 20, that's just like slowly spinning on the top of the spindle.
Is that all that he sees?
As you're flying over, what else are you gonna see? You'll notice below you there's like a little group of 3 large bears, and another stone giant, that seems to be like breaking up rocks. And he kind of like looks up and is like, "Huh," like just kind of like notes that you're flying over him, and then looks back down, starts like breaking up these gems.
Okay, so Divrin and Edward are going to fly back to where everybody else is and tell them about the spire with the hovering castle. What do you suppose we should do?
Well, I wonder if the illusionist is within that castle. Those small sizes you describe is intriguing, to say the least. Perhaps it is Alistair's work, and we might find a clue as to how to head downwards within. if we're able to enter within, or perhaps upon it, or something like that. It might bear investigating, in my mind at least.
What do we do if Hallister is there?
I'll be honest, I highly doubt he is. Just a hunch, but he could be. You are correct.
What do we do, though?
Well,
Yes, what would be the point?
Die?
well, you could all run and I could die.
That's fine with me.
Likely.
I mean, I have no fear in that. Death Shadow walks with me and all. So
What if he turns you into something that doesn't allow you to die, but you have to be his servant?
Is that as dark a subject as it is? I would ensure I do find a way to die. Death cannot be avoided. It should never be avoided. It cannot be stopped. It is ever encroaching, after all. I'll find a way.
Don't worry, I'll find a way to die.
I'll find a way to die. It'll happen.
Well, you know what really frosts my buns is that he's using these stone giants to do his dirty work,
Speaking
carving out
of,
stuff.
thank you
for
for
him.
reminding me. Double checking name. Jota, correct me if I'm wrong. You mentioned before that you do not remember anything before this day, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
She
Would you
seems
be
really excited that you found something.
Would you be okay for me to check that you do not suffer some form of head wound or the like? This is not causing your memory difficulties?
You want to look at my head?
I just want to make sure you're not injured.
He's
If
trying to
it's-
make sure you're not hurt or that you don't have a boo boo.
Already went boo boo over there.
No. He's trying to make sure that you don't have an ouch on your head.
Okay. Do I have an ouch on my head? And she just like sticks her head forward into the door.
I am looking for any
She does
injuries,
now.
any injuries or wounds, even any arcane markings.
Let's see. You don't make an investigation check.
I'm not good at that. 10.
Okay. Yeah. You don't really notice anything out of the ordinary about her head. Just the head.
Looks like you're not suffering any physical wound, but I would like, Jota, with your permission, to attempt something I do fear a curse, and perhaps I might be able to alleviate that from you so you will be able to remember more going forward. With your permission, of course.
What are you going to do?
It will be nothing harmful. I shall simply. It'll take me no more than 6 seconds to.
I step back.
If anything is afflicting you, it shall be removed. If nothing is afflicting you, you shall be completely fine. But
Okay. I'm
Yep.
trusting you, little turtle man. Ishro.
I appreciate that trust. Thank you. And I'm going to reach into my cloak and pull out a very, I suppose, ornate would be words like stitching on it, pouch, and gonna measure out half the diamond dust within it.
Okay.
Before tightening it and putting it back into its pocket. And I'm going to spread that dust on the floor before Jota into the. Let me double check something. Yeah, into the crook and flail symbol of Osiris.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring my hand up to my mouth, bite on my thumb until I start bleeding. Drop a few drops of blood onto the symbol. Place that hand upon the symbol, my other hand upon Jota, mutter a few arcane words under my breath and a quick prayer, and I'm casting Greater Restoration.
Okay. A kind of smoke effect kind of pours out from your hand, and it envelops like her head, and she breathes it in, and she goes That tasted like berries.
I'm staring intently at the diamond dust at my feet because if the spell works, that will be consumed.
You see her, like, kind of look really confused for a moment. And then from between her eyes, a small sigil kind of lights up and gets really red, like a heated metal. And you see it go out toward the diamond dust, and the diamond dust lights a flame and is consumed.
Okay.
You remember anything now, Zorda?
It's still like red hot right here, and she goes, "My head really hurts. But yeah, it's coming back to me.
That is good news indeed.
I still don't remember how I got here, but I remember more now."
So Ishra is going to push himself to his feet from where he was kneeling, look down at the hand that he cut, take note that he's got another arcane sigil on his palm, and then shove that hand in his pocket to hide that fact. And just take note that he's basically, just to add flavour to it, he's basically used a fraction of what remaining life he has to do this. That it's the mark of Osiris represents that fact.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
I assume that you are feeling more lightheaded, clear-headed. I mean now, shorter. I hope at least.
Yes, I remember now. The the wizard comes every once in a while to grow the crystals so we can eat. He's not so bad.
Does he that cavern, that small castle? Does he approach that at any time?
My brother told me about the small castle. Um, he can't reach it though. It's got some sort of thing on the bottom. Um, there's some other wizard that comes from that one. I
So there's
don't know
more.
his name though.
So a second wizard comes from the castle.
So
So
the wizard that makes the crystals grow for you to eat, is he the one that has his face on the wall?
Yeah,
does he just appear into place, or does he approach from a deeper area of this on the mountain?
I don't know where he comes from.
Thank you. If the rest of you have any questions, feel free. I need to go sit down for a moment. Excuse me. Just hobbles over to a side wall and leans heavily against it.
I want to know what's in the castle.
I think we're going to check that out next. After Ishra takes a breather.
I should be fine. Just a minute. Let's just say my shadow is a bit closer now.
Do you need a short rest?
I will be fine. Just a toll my god takes upon me. A payment for the service rendered. I will be fine in just a short minute. But as I say, I just fear I think Death's shadow is just a tiny bit closer now. That is all. I feel it's a bit more in my bones.
Do you I assume you know there are deities out there. For instance, I've ran into some druids and some other rangers who worship deities that do not take such tolls on them. What is it that draws you to Osiris?
You think I pay this toll without understanding it? I accept the price willingly. It is a cost. I came close to death once before, some 5 years back. I had more work to do, though. I had more duties to perform. I could not leave this world just yet. At a cost of living just a tiny bit longer, I was to give myself into complete service and not just worship. I live my life, and it will end soon, I'm sure. I feel my debt is almost fully paid. This is just repayment for me, ignoring the natural balance for a short while. I am unnatural at this moment. I should not be alive, yet I am. But I had work to do. I could not leave it unfinished. I just wait now for that clock to tick down. It will come. It will come soon, I'm sure. Let's just say I had 2 weeks and now I have 1. It is of no matter. Let us continue. I can push on.
You guys can hear from outside heavy footsteps. And you hear,
Sorter, we have intruders. One of them shot your brother. Have you seen anything?
she says, "Oh no, Father, I haven't seen anything at all. Nothing."
Are you sure?
No, you said they shot him?
Yeah, one of them did had quite a number on his shoulder.
Question:
Us.
Did he didn't he had his back to me. I was in the dark. He didn't know.
He only saw Ishra.
He only no, seriously.
Yeah, he only saw Istro, yeah, so you would think it was the turtle.
Well, Ishra and a Euphemia.
Yeah. Yep, Istro and Euphoria. So you hear that conversation go on, and he's like,
All right, well, I'm looking everywhere. Be careful.
"All right, Father, I'll be careful. Bye-bye." I hate him. Just like turns back to the door and goes, "Did you really shoot my brother?"
I didn't.
Saving.
There was a bit of a misunderstanding on the part of one of my friends, not mentioning names.
I wish I had message right now.
But we were lost, like when we stumbled upon you, and we were trying to get information, and when your brother stood up suddenly, it startled my friend, and so he ended up shooting the arrow. We didn't get a chance to apologize for it, so we are sorry about that, aren't we?
I took no part in that.
Well, since I don't speak giant, I say to them, and I assume Zorta doesn't speak common. I say to them,
I've just been doing translations.
yeah.
Because I'm the only one that doesn't speak both languages.
I say, Ishro, probably don't want to translate this, but I just want to say this is the weirdest interaction I've had with giants in my life. Also, you could have made an attempt to say there were other groups in here.
I did make mention that there was a family here.
We actually did.
But to
We were told that there were families here.
I was? This is above.
That there are families of giants in here.
Oh no, I meant like adventuring, like
Oh,
live.
and adventuring
You could have
parties.
said someone else
Yeah.
did it, I think. Is
Yeah.
is that right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
It's better
Yeah.
to be honest, saving noise.
I've seen you lie before, and you're quite convincing.
I'm
It
not a
worked
fan
this
of
time.
lying. Yes, he's the one I've just given treatment to.
Yeah, I figured she'd I'd hope she'd feel some sort of like she owed you one.
Shorter, as my friend Euphoria mentioned, it was a instinctive reaction on one of our parts, a bit of a fright, shall we say, about experience with giants in the past. Old memories give old wounds. Will you be intending to turn us in, so to say?
God.
Hmm?
I think.
Oh,
I
oh,
think
oh!
each-
You're talking to
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, he's talking to Shorter. He was
Okay,
saying
okay,
if
okay.
they would mention this, and yeah.
Yes. Okay. She says, "You helped me, but Father will be coming back soon. You should probably go."
That is a good idea. You have my deepest thanks, Jota, and I am so glad that my little treatment did manage to be successful.
She kind of reaches through the door and like uses her finger to like pet your head.
that could hurt.
I've suffered worse.
Zorda, we can make it up to your brother if we go investigate that castle. You said he was curious about it and he couldn't reach it.
I want to know what's in it.
Okay, we'll go look. And we'll bring your brother a present to say sorry. But it has to be our secret, okay?
Okay.
That's a good girl.
Our youngest friend is present within that castle, and that we might be able to make our presence simply removing the torment of seeing different images. But I digress.
Oh, yeah. That's been bad.
I digress, so how are we going to cross this cabin? I mean, I'm not exactly lightweight. I'm not too sure a bat could carry me.
Well, we could search the upper levels for wood and create some sort of large siege vehicle or catapult and place you inside after many weeks of construction.
We do have a friendly friend who might be able to break us off one of those big, large crystals and just place it in here for us to use as a bridge to walk across.
It's how far across is this cabin? Like,
Yeah, how far was it?
All right, so the spire is about 200 feet in. It is this like sheer cliff that goes down into just like another like plane essentially in a hole. You think there's plenty of stuff that's like along the walls of this cathedral that you might be able to like tie a rope to. It's about 60 feet down. If you tried to make a bridge, it would take a while.
I misunderstood the placement of the castle, which is why I ended up saying what we did. I thought it was across the way. I didn't realize it was down.
So the castle is across, but it is about like I said, like 200 feet away from you. It's on a spindle that comes up from the area, so that it's about 20 feet higher than where you are, but it's super far away.
Okay.
I will say, saving noise, it would not be the first time I have been fired from a catapult while in my shell.
I'm sure
I do
that's
not have the
true.
time.
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
Go for it.
All right.
That's not the first time. Done it before.
First time?
21.
He's telling the truth.
Oh my god.
What can I say? I had some experiences when I was younger.
Clearly.
Before Zorda goes, Saving Noise will go up to her and ask Ishiro to translate. Tell her to put this on her brother's wound and give one of his health potions to her.
I'll hand it over with the message.
Okay.
It should help with the injury. Close it up and make it a bit less severe. Prevent infection and the like.
But I really give her a potion of the worst poison I can come across. No, I'm kidding. Would that have gotten past Ishiro?
Well, my passive insight is 18.
Yeah, but what do you know about potions?
It's true.
And what's inside a vial?
Yeah.
Also that.
That's true.
Anyways, no, he gave
Mine's
gave
okay.
her a
Okay.
health potion.
I mean, it's fine. You can betray your only friend. That's cool. I'm sure you'll make it back just fine. Yeah.
He might take difference bat. No.
Yeah.
Give me my bat back.
So, yeah. So you give her that. She kind of holds it between her fingers. And she just looks at it quizzically. And shrugs her shoulders. Okay. She kind of looks around and goes, I have to go. I'll be back.
I'll see you later then, my friend.
We'll see you soon.
Is there do I think there's any way to climb across, like sideways rock climb?
So from what you can tell, this here, let me draw this. I feel like that would be easier.
Draw it on the camera so like we can see through the map you're about to draw and still see.
So this is gonna be the best drawing you've ever seen, guys.
It just better be to scale.
Yeah, it needs to be perfect and to scale perfectly.
And it better not be crude.
No, why would it be
I
cool?
want a
That's
I
ridiculous.
want a detailed J.R.R. Tolkien map.
They're not that detailed.
Well, more detailed than that then.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. I hope I can see that.
Focus, camera. Closer.
They might have problems focusing that close.
Move it to your left. There you go.
So
Okay.
here's the
Metal
cathedral
spire.
portion.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
you. There's this drop off. Then there's rocks and stuff and gems and things. Sorry, I didn't write it backwards. Then there's this spire, right? And then there's the castle.
Oh, so it is below us.
So it's a little bit below,
So
and then
the castle is a little bit above you in elevation, but it is across this gap.
Okay.
Does
Well,
anyone have method of flight?
I don't.
Hmm.
think the bat can carry the tourists.
Probably not. I weigh quite a fair amount.
How much does a turtle weigh?
Like 400 pounds.
Yeah, they're like stupid heavy.
Yeah. I'll actually pull it up because I forgot to note this down. So I'm pulling up their page now.
It's like 350 to 450 or
Yeah.
something.
That's crazy town.
And how much does a bugbear weigh?
I did note it.
An average of 450 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That's the average as well. So
Average total, yeah.
Saving noise is like 250.
Do turtles lose shell density when they get old?
he's also,
Osteopershellus?
he's also, just to point this out, he's about 6 feet tall. So he's not a tiny.
Yeah,
He's
you know, he's so tiny.
He's very large at 6 feet tall and about 450 pounds.
I was
How
trying to
much-
do us some favors with him being old as shit.
Yeah, he's probably a bit smaller, hunched over, and all that.
I don't know. You
How
guys will
much-
have to kind of figure out how you're going to get up there.
How much weight can a giant bat carry?
You can carry one person.
But how much
Person.
weight?
One
Yeah, how much?
person. Yeah, not a 450-pound person. A normal human weight. So, like,
What does that mean?
could probably carry
About-
all of you except Ishro.
Well, Euphoria, I suppose it will simply be the two of us. These two are screwed.
Just
I can
ignore
levitate
Sean.
Right the bat. Well, Sean's a dungeon master, so he's like God. He's
Yeah, but he
outside
told
on
you
the-
everyone except. Never mind.
Yeah, that's
Saving
He's
noise.
Yeah, it's
different.
like-
It doesn't
it's like
matter.
saving noises face, Jake's face.
And then I realize I'm talking to different, and it doesn't matter.
Euphoria's comment to different. Well, I guess it's just you and me. Oh, you mean it's like a date?
I would never.
It's a joke. I wouldn't date you either.
Thank you.
You have a horrible personality.
I quite a charming personality, I've always thought.
You could charm
you know
the
what Thought
shit off
did.
a spider.
You know what Thought did different? He did it again.
So the way that I see this, we either go down to the ground and hope there is some way up to the spire, or you three try and get a ride on the bat, and I might have a way across. I don't know if it would work. I'd have to try and think back to what I was told.
You
And
could always go back to the oil. The
he's
bat
meant-
could pull you with a rope, and we put some oil on your shell and drag you
Ugh.
across the ground.
a little bit too heavy. And just go. Ishro is just messing with the. I think it's a green sapphire technically. Let me double check something. The blue sapphire necklace and is around his neck. And just as a question, could I do an Arcana or Intelligence something to see would he be able to understand if an air elemental will be able to carry him?
You can make an Arcana check.
Please be good. Please be good.
Be good.
That is good actually. I don't have anything. 19.
19, an air elemental. Let me think about this for just a second.
Yeah.
If it helps, they have a strength of +2.
Yeah, but how much wind
Could he-
can they really make?
Can they blow him across?
Let me think. About it.
The visual would be amazing.
Oh yeah, you just
Yes.
get in the shell and you're like spinning.
Yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
it'd be awesome. Yeah,
I'd pay
I'm-
real dollars for this.
Oh yeah,
I would pay real dollars for this to work.
yeah. It could probably make a whirlwind strong enough to propel you up.
But not across.
So I'd have to be at the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you also say that there was a giant at the base of all that stuff?
It seemed like he was roaming around in that giant field of gemstones.
So if we get to the base of the spire, I might be able to make my way to the top.
Come to think of it, Different didn't actually tell you that. I don't know.
He didn't.
He didn't?
He's just
He didn't
no.
mention
He's
it?
just flying around.
Okay.
He saw this. Yeah.
So, why don't we just climb down, get to the base of the spire then?
Yes, I mean, it sounds good to me.
Which
Someone
one?
could always say something to trigger his memory, perhaps.
Hey, Divrin, you holding anything back?
Nothing I can say on camera. Oh, I forgot to mention. I think I spotted another giant.
Well, I can't restore its memory if it's suffering the same affliction, not until I have a good sleep, I'm afraid. That took a bit out of me. But most of them have been non-aggressive, if a bit cautious, so perhaps we could simply skirt it, avoid it, and not have it to be angry at us.
Or maybe we can make friends with it, and then you can do your whirly bird off its palm
That is
instead of straight from the floor.
that might work, indeed.
Did you mention that it was accompanied by bears, different?
Oh, wait. I think there were bears. There were these things with it.
Bears. Okay, I'm out.
I don't know if Different's seen bears or not, being from the Underdark.
Can I
You've seen
insight?
these. These are like cave bears.
Ah, they were cave bears that were with them.
Can I insight check her or him to see if like he's being
not
just being a dick?
Okay.
It's like, oh, I happen to forget this.
Oh, and
To be
did I
fair,
mention they also have rabies?
I'm doing
21.
insight as well on that as well.
They also haven't eaten in 3 weeks.
So I actually
have
worked back
sleep.
on that. 14.
21.
All right, you guys. So, you just needed a DC of 5 to know that Divern is always a jerk, and is always out for self gain, and is always out to just
Yeah.
funnily
Whatever
leave things out.
I'll turn to Divrin and I'll be like, oh, Divrin, cave bears don't because I am a bear, they don't bother me so much. So if they see me behind you as you approach them, they won't bother us none.
Oh, I'm going to fly across. I'm not walking anywhere near those.
I'm just letting you know in case you fall or something.
I won't fall.
I'm just letting you know in case somebody pulls you down and shoves you into the ground like a god or something that you can't possibly escape from.
I'll take that into consideration.
You're welcome. Which one of you can't climb very well?
I am an okay climber. I am not exactly agile, but I still got some strength in me.
I've got a potion of climbing.
We could have just given that to Ishiro.
Oh yes, you could all
Climb up.
fly across overhead, and I'll just walk there.
Is that what we're doing?
I'd be fine with it. It's not exactly a new occurrence. It happened to me once before.
Okay, here's the potion of climbing. It'll match your climbing speed to your walking speed, and it'll last about an hour.
Oh, greatly appreciated. That should, I think, do pretty well.
It also makes you like inexplicably talk louder every once in a while.
I'll take your word at it. I mean, I've
Okay.
encountered that before, but I do understand the oddities of magic at sometimes.
Sometimes a brewer just screws something up. Maybe they were reading a book or something. Reading.
If it were drow made, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, Lavisha sometimes did mix up her own chemical mixtures as well, just like something that was slightly out of date, or she had to replace something with a subpar alternative. So I don't see why you could be wrong on that. So I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Hey, Divrin. Take us to the castle on your giant flying bat.
that supposed to be a question?
No.
Oh, then I'm not so sure I feel like it.
Before,
Edward,
so
Edward, what do you feel?
different. So, quick
Euphoria. I'll
question:
take you first.
that levitating trick you did before,
Mm.
are you able to do it on others?
I suppose if I could lift you, I could probably carry you.
Yeah, it is more. I don't believe that enchantment allows someone to move forward and backwards. So you could drag me through the air, I guess.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there would still be the weight to contend. Sorry, I was going off on tangent. What I was thinking was lowering me to the ground because I have 50 foot of rope. That is a 60-foot drop. I am heavy for rope.
Wait a minute. Why would there be extra? Are you talking like pulling weight? If you're levitating, then the spell has all your weight, right?
I think you might be right. To be fair, I am old. I am forgetting a lot of things, so you could be right.
Are you worried like the rope won't hold you?
Well, no. As a player, I'm pretty sure levitate would allow me to be pulled without any problems.
Right.
In character, Ishro doesn't know that.
Okay.
He's forgotten a lot of things about magic.
Okay.
Him talking about the rope was more if he's going down to walk across, he's not sure that a single piece of rope will be able to hold 450 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think you hold on to a rope and levitate and have Edward pull.
That would be a new experience. That would be interesting.
Right. So his levitating spell will hold the majority of his weight. So technically, Edward is only carrying the rope's weight, I guess, not really the 450 pounds.
Oh, so
Right.
you're gonna kind of have him in tow.
That's how I was understanding it.
Okay. I get what you're saying now.
My mustache is a.
Different has a mustache.
No, but
If
that's
different
my imaginary mischievous mustache.
I say that would definitely change how like my mental picture of him is, and I'd be all right with that.
He's too arrogant to grow a mustache.
It'd make him slightly cooler.
Perhaps we should look into it. It'd be less hateable. Handlebar mustache.
You guys,
Oh no.
you guys are silly. Okay, all right, that's what we're doing, huh?
Alright, let's try this.
Okay, so just so I'm getting this straight, who all is riding the bat?
You said all three of us except
Right.
One
Ishro.
at a time.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then we'll just do a
Yeah.
little.
And Euphoria was getting dropped off first. Is that what I understood?
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right.
She can just get on Edward and fly.
All right, so Euphoria gets on Edward. All right. Edward takes off and, you know, all around. Get you
Boy.
toward this castle. Do you want to come in from the top, coming in from the front? How do you want to approach this thing?
I guess by the front, wherever the front door is.
Okay. Let's see.
Seems like an appropriate meeting place.
Front door is large, wooden, very, very classic style. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of thought was put into this front door. As you approach this little bitty castle, it suddenly explodes in size and becomes like a full-size castle.
Oh.
And you are headed toward these doors, and they suddenly are much closer to you. And you or sorry, yeah, they're like suddenly like seem much closer to you, much bigger. And you see above these big stone doors, there's a crude wooden sign that says Otto's Castle.
Ooh, cool.
And on the sides are like windows, windows of stained glass. There's stained glass all over, like the outside of it, mixed in with the stone bricks. There's glass bricks, so it's a very like pretty castle. The door itself is very simple.
Cool.
Made of wood.
Cool. I will wait on the ledge in front of the front door.
The ledge in front of it is made of marble and is kind of like this floating. There's no stoop on it. It's just like a straight cut off door, but there's a floating like marble disc sitting in front that you can land on.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Edward kind of comes down and like skids across this slick marble and tick 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 tick, like, and is able to finally like get a grip. You hop off. You just tell him to go back.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
calls
have him
for-
wait for a moment and see if anything happens while I'm on this disc. If it's just floating in the ether in front of this castle.
Nope, it's just floating in space. You don't see anything underneath it. It's pretty good size. It's about the size of like it's like a 10 by 10 circle.
And how far is the floating disc from the door?
You could step up if the door were open. You could step up into it. It's currently closed,
Okay.
but there's not much purchase in front of the door except for that. So it's maybe like just a few inches from the door.
All right. Yeah.
Edward,
I'll send Edward away.
All right.
Well, Divrin's going with him, with Edward, I assume.
We had to carry one person at a time.
One
Yeah.
person at a time.
So Edward comes back, lands. Divrin gets on. You experience the same thing. Like it's this little bitty castle, and then all of a sudden it just like explodes in size.
I would assume I would be going with him because he'd have to cast Levitate on Ishro.
That's fair. Yeah, we can do that. Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. When you hit levitate, you just kind of like, boonk, like run into the side of that marble disc and just kinda
Momentum.
skid across.
I'm just in the shell the entire time.
Spinning on the marble.
Yes, definitely.
Euphoria. Whenever Edward leaves, you see him get a certain distance, and then he gets really big. And
Like
takes off.
coming towards me or leaving?
Going away, he gets really big. Coming back, he gets normal sized again.
I assume then that we did not experience the castle growing until we got close to it.
Yes, till you get a certain
Yeah.
amount, a certain distance to it. Yeah, so it's like within about 60 feet.
So when Edward got right up to it, did it look to us that he just disappeared?
But you couldn't see that far to it. He just kind of like disappeared to where the castle had gone. But now that you guys can see each other crossing this barrier, like you can see that Euphoria is small, and then all of a sudden, she's normal sized. And it's like Euphoria, you see them, they're really big, and then all of a sudden they're normal sized. So he comes back
That's a little horrifying.
for saving noise. When he lands, he seems kind of tired. He's
Divrin will pet him. I have a water skin, so he'll give him some water and some more of his little Umber Hulk.
kind of like a dog at a hose, just and, he gets back over to where saving noise is, lands. He's a little tired, and he looks back at you, and then like double takes and makes this like eep noise, and you hear behind you the cathedral start to get like crushed, just like the walls start coming down, and you see like a fist coming, like punching through the wall.
Yep. Hey, Edward, you think we might get going?
He starts like he's already starting to take off.
Gah!
Yeah, yeah.
Get on.
All right.
Yeah.
So as you're taking off, it kind of crumbles behind you, and you can see there's this bearded stone giant that has a large hammer in his other hand, and he swings through and just narrowly misses you.
Fly, bat.
As you fly on the bat, he's a little extra erratic, going every which way. I want you to make a dex check for me.
Mm.
Just a general dex?
Just straight dex.
16.
16. Okay, cool. You see this large stone come flying up from the ground that's been hurled by a giant, and you kind of just like veer the bat over and
Barrel roll?
Yep, you do a barrel roll.
Oh.
And it just narrowly misses you. You experience the same thing that everyone else does as you approach the castle. It
I
suddenly
hear
just-
Highway to the Danger Zone in my head.
You hear some Kenny Loggins. You're good. Okay. So everybody looks small, and then they look normal to you, and you like skid on this marble that's already been scratched to hell anyway.
You know who would have loved that? Gurgle Noise would have loved that if he could experience it.
Oh yeah, no, I've been telling him all about it. He's very
He's-
jealous right now.
He's probably like, "Oh, you
Very
mean I could have
upset.
been small and then big, and then seen people get big and small? That's, I don't even. How does that? It's just, I need a body."
I know, Gurgle Noise. We're working on getting you that body. We need to make money first.
Okay.
Thank you for understanding.
You have
You're
a
welcome.
crown you can sell.
Yeah, got a nice pretty crown we can sell to get you a body.
Does Divrin have anything else we can sell?
He
Maybe
has that
a
mithril
wife.
crown still.
He has a jeweled cape.
Oh, you'll probably never get that, but he does still have that mithril crown.
No, he doesn't. He gave that to, or is you have more than one crown?
It's a.
I had the crystal and the mithril.
Oh,
They were
okay,
both still on me.
got it. Got it.
It's a
Oh,
helmet.
I'll pocket that.
Helmet, whatever it was. I
Helmet.
thought, wasn't there a crown too?
There was a crystal crown, but there's a helmet.
There was
Okay,
also
well, he has a
a
mithril helmet.
a Vorpal sword that we picked up,
Yeah.
and a Vorpal longbow.
Yeah, just happens to be there. Yeah.
For its worth as well, Ishro at this point has, I believe, 700 gold worth of diamonds still on his person.
Nice.
Very useful. Okay.
So if he dies, you're free to use it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All
Do
the
not,
diamonds.
do not tell Different that. Do not tell
Yeah.
Different that. Don't.
Different's already seen him like pour diamonds on the ground and like, cast magic with them. So.
Mhm.
These doors are shut tight, just standing tall in front of you.
Well, should I knock?
I might have something. Hang on a
To
second.
knock? I can knock myself.
No, hang on. It's to unlock locks.
We don't even know if it's locked yet.
I can unlock locks.
I'm just gonna knock.
You really want to announce our presence?
We came in on a bat.
Let's just open the door.
It was silent.
Ishro's just going to walk forward and just push against it just to see if it's unlocked and opens.
It is unlocked.
Yeah.
You,
Just slowly.
See?
you push against it. It's pretty heavy, but you're like, what's your strength score?
My strength is 17.
Oh yeah. You're able to just
And if it's
Leave
athletics,
the
it's a
turtles
+7.
quiet.
like push in.
I pull out my bagpipes and I start playing. No, I don't.
It was like,
It is always best to check first if the door is unlocked before trying to unlock it with picks or magic. Trust me, that is a lesson you should learn quickly, and you will not make it the same mistake again twice.
I feel like that's common sense, just in general.
I don't
I
think
know,
that's a
but you'll be
mistake.
surprised by how many people lack common sense.
Fair enough.
I don't think I've made that mistake
Right.
before.
As you open the door, you hear this weird upbeat music that's echoing around this very, very ornate glass chamber. I'm going to do my best for this one. And you hear singing.
Thing. Do it.
And
Is it Wham?
it's not quite Wham, but it's kind of, you hear like it's almost big band. So it's like wham, wham, ba, 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 wham,
Oh, hell yeah.
and you hear him so boom, boom, chicka, ha, 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 boom,
Yes.
boom, chicka, ah, ah. I'm a
Yes.
big and sexy dragon. All the people want my gold, but no matter how hard they try, just one look and they all fall. With a flash of my claws and a swish of my tail, I have bested giants, wizards. You as well are doomed to fail. I'm a big, sexy dragon. I could crunch you down to the bone. You should never ever face me when you're all alone. Big, sexy dragon.
Funky.
I got a lot of little tricks that I can do to you. Turn you inside out, upside down, or even blue. When the lights go down, I'm waiting for you in the night. Is it dream or is it real? Get a bad fright. Big, sexy dragon.
Who has interrupted my bath time?
Have I, with my dragon as favorite enemy, have I heard that song before from other dragons?
You definitely haven't. This is kind of strange for a dragon. But with that, we're going to end it.
That was fantastic, Sean.
That was the best way to
I'm
end.
dying.
That
Can
was
you
amazing.
post
Sing
lyrics
that
in
during the
chat
recap.
later?
I can't kill this dragon regardless of what happens now.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
we
some-
can't. We need it. We need to make this dragon our friend.
We need a record deal.
We are now fan people.
It just immediately has a fan group.
Yeah.
Welcome to Otto's castle.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for everyone who's watching. We'll be back next week on Wednesday. Same time, same channel. 8 to 11 Eastern here on Variant Rolls on twitch.tv/Variant Rolls. I've been your DM for the evening. My name is Sean. You can catch me at NoTweetSean on Twitter. I just promote people and do random things. But let's do outros for everybody. Chael, go ahead.
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Chael_not a mimic, because I'm not, I swear, ish. Lots of Dungeon and Dragon shenanigans. I'm also an affiliate with Dice Envy, so you should totally check them out because they have awesome dice. Tell them the crazy mimic lady sent you. Yeah, that's about it. I played Divrin, everybody's lovable favorite drow.
No.
No. All right, Jess, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jess. You can find me at Health Pack Streaming, or actually at Health Pack Stream on Twitter. I normally post a bunch of D&D shenanigans and occasionally go on media rants, but other than that, I've been Euphoria.
Sam, go ahead.
So I'm Sam or Samuel. I can be found on Twitter as Eldritch Warlock. I don't really do much on Twitter. More often it's just me saying where I am going to be, either tweeting or retweeting. I can be found over on the RPG Lab though on Mondays at 7 p.m. BST currently, which is 2 p.m. Eastern in their Monday campaign. And every now and then I also appear over on the RPG Lab on Saturdays at, I believe, similar time. It's either 4 p.m. British summertime or 7. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm too tired right now, to be honest. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. But I sometimes appear on Saturdays there where I, since it's their viewer games, I am running currently a one-shot, which is on a bit of a break, but it will be turning in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome.
I say one-shot, it was a one-shot that now has become a mini-campaign.
Okay. I love those. That always happens.
Oh, and might as well, just a bit of an announcement. Either on the 26th of this month or the 2nd of June, I will be starting running the Old Myths, which will be a 6 session mini campaign here on Variant Rolls.
Cool. Be looking forward to seeing that.
It's a world of my own, depraved, dark, and downright weird mind. So be
All right. Jake, go ahead.
I'm Jake Friday. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Friday. Instagram's at Jake of the Friday. I run the Venture Ventures stream ongoing campaign. We play on Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific, except this Sunday I'll be at D&D Live, so no game this weekend. Last weekend we had Jess Pack on our show as Euphoria, and that was a lot of fun. We went into a petrified kraken of some sort and did some stuff. So check it out. Other than that, I think that's it. Yep.
Okay. Where could we find that?
Venture Ventures, twitch.tv/Venture Ventures, or Venture Ventures on YouTube and podcast form, Venture Ventures D&D show.
Cool. Awesome. All right, guys. That's it. That's all we've got for you tonight. Hope you'll join us next week. Thanks for being with us.